Welcome to the Leylo Show. Welcome to the Leylo Show. I am your host, Leylo. Hey, man, we got us one today. Yo.
And I know that Puffy got to be one nervous motherfucker right now. And it looks like it's going to be the trial of the century.
Y'all forgive me. I got my chips and dip for this one. Now, there's a whole lot been going on about, Young Thug, everybody calling him a rat or whatever, and they call him Atlanta Ratlanta, which is far from the truth. But, I just been sitting back and watching, and I think the city, we handling ourselves real well under the circumstances. And shout out to Thug too, you know. Even even after the situation came out with his phones and whatnot, on talking on the phone, pillow talking or whatever they call it, he took, he stood on it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he did that. He ain't try to fight it. So shout out to Thug for that, man. You know. Yeah, he took that accountability, right? Gotta respect him for that. Then I heard he got a song or something with YFN and Lucci, and you know, I just applaud all of them, man, for doing well. They done both beat their trials and paying home to their families. Now they taking care of their kids and all that. You know, trust me, I feel the pain. But everybody keep talking about Thug and pillow talking and on the phone and possibly snitching in interrogation rooms and all that. But the whole time while everybody talking about this, Suge Knight over there about to solve a 30-year-old, 35-year-old unaliving case of a legendary rapper. Am I missing something? Like, why is not everybody paying attention? Y'all so focused on Thug, but the biggest gangster, that's still alive on the West Coast, that's a legend that I know of anyway, is singing like a canary from a cell. What's going on? Am I missing something? Ain't nobody, man. Shout out to the Art of Dialogue. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Art of Dialogue. Art of Dialogue has a real great platform, man, and they've been doing they're the only ones that have these exclusive interviews with Suge from prison. And you can tell it's literally over in the prison phone. So this is not no cell phone, or they not in the lieutenant's office, letting them use the phone. This is a real prison phone call, meaning that there's other prisoners around him as he's, having these conversations with the Art of Dialogue. And obviously something's been cleared where the Art of Dialogue can continue to have these interviews with Suge. But in this recent interview, Suge has revealed a lot of information about the unaliving of Tupac Shakur. Now, me, I've always been a Tupac fan. I mean, Tupac literally raised me and my homies in the hood, right? When he passed away, man, that was the first time I seen my homies bust out crying, like for real, in real life, like tears. Like my homeboy Jeff pulled up, and I'm like, damn, boy, you fucked up about it. But I'm saying we was all kind of fucked up about it. I just couldn't shed no tears, I had been through so much in my life by that time, so my tears had to dried up. But it affected all of us when Pop left, because Pop raised us, man. Well, at least me, I can speak for me. Like Pop raised me. You know what I mean? But anyway, we're gonna get into some of this interview, man, because like it's real deep, and I mean I don't know really what to say, but we definitely gonna get into it though. All right, so apparently Suge is breaking down like everything about Keefe D, Diddy, his involvement. All of this is alleged, of course, but the things that he's saying, no, man, no. Let's check it out though. Let's check some of this out.
When I first paroled back in the day, I used to keep a box at the Staples Center. So I'm at the Laker game, fucking with a bitch here and there, got some bitches with me. I step out for a little fresh air. I see Keefe D. Keefe D was spooked. First thing he told me was they didn't have nothing to do with the killing of my homie Buntry. I responded to Keefe D and said, shit, if I thought that, I'd be on you already.
Now, so apparently, after Suge Knight got out, I'm guessing it's for the incident that happened in Las Vegas, where his parole was violated because of the fight in the casino right before Pop had his situation where he was unalive, and he ran into Keefe D, and we all know what Keefe D is right now. He's actually sitting in prison or sitting in jail, county jail, awaiting trial, and he's about to go to trial on the Tupac unaliving. Now, apparently, he's saying, excuse me. Apparently, he's saying that Keefe D was at a game, a Lakers game or whatever, and Suge was there as well. But what made Keefe D like tell him all this stuff? I don't know. I don't know. Let's look into it further. I don't know, man.
At that time, I'm on parole. I look to the left, look to the right. The whole place is packed. So I'm like, I had to go take a piss. Let's have this conversation in the restroom. He was like, man, I ain't going in that restroom with you. And good thing he didn't, because even though we was friends, but if a motherfucker pays you to kill us, I got a bullet into my skull.
Man, I wouldn't go in that bathroom either with Suge Knight. I wouldn't go in the bathroom with Suge Knight if we wasn't beefing. I don't even want to be in that space with you, partner. That's too tight. Somebody might come in there that don't like you, and I got to goddamn, you know what I'm saying? And we ain't too much of a tight space. I got to pull the strap out of blah, blah, blah. But on a serious note, man, if this happened in real life, I'm sure Keefe D was scared as hell that day. Yeah, I'm sure he was.
My blood was boiling. Somebody used to always say, but at the same time, I am an intelligent, wise man and a businessman. Since I can't do nothing to him, I might as well get him to answer some questions. So I doubled back on him and said, what you mean? He said, well, look, Puffy used to come to the hood.
Puffy used to come to the hood.
He said, you can ask James.
That's crazy.
Him and James always been good friends,
So Keefe D is saying that Puffy used to come to the hood, man. via Suge Knight. This is what Suge Knight saying, that Puffy used to come to the hood and talk to the Crips out there, I guess.
James is the one who went through some things and been tampered with. But it's not about James getting tampered with. It's about the conversation Keefy D told me what he told James. Guess they baby mamas is best friends. So Rad James, what Keefy D said, he told Rad James that, look, it's big money in this.
And I know James. I know who James is. James is. I mean, I don't know him personally, but I seen him on the Bomb First show with the guy that used to be security over at Death Row back then. Now I used to follow, not used to, but I followed Death Row and everything that was going on from day one when Suge started Death Row. And it wasn't just Suge started Death Row, but I was a big fan from day one. All the way up to when Snoop left and went to Master P. Like, I was a fan throughout all that. So I kept up with all of what was going on, just being a fan, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of knew what was happening at the time.
Only thing Puffy want to do is pay $1 million to have both of them killed. He told me that. He said it was, according to him, he said it was security that accepted money, participated in it.
Wow. Now I'm gonna tell you something, man. I was asleep yesterday, and then something just told me to wake up. And I don't know why, but I woke up, got right at my phone, and I went straight to YouTube. And this video was posted. And Suge has done a lot of videos or a lot of interviews with the Art of Dialogue. Shout out to them again. Make sure y'all go over to their page to listen to the full interview. But Suge has done a lot of interviews and Art of Dialogue, and that picture right there, I don't think that's them. I don't know how the Art of Dialogue look. I just made that up. That's AI generated. Anyway, the Suge has done several interviews over there, and he's been saying a lot of questionable things. He'd be like, man, why is he even talking about you? You one of the biggest gangsters we know. Why are you on the phone doing interviews and talking about this, talking about that? And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Call it what you want. I'm a big Suge Knight fan. It is what it is. I fuck with Suge. I'm a big Tupac fan. But I think Suge lining himself up to come home, man. I'm just saying. There's no other reason for him to do this and continue to do this unless, the money is so good that he's getting, which I doubt. But I'm sure that the money is taking care of his kids and stuff like that. I'm sure of that. And it's hard to do it when you're behind that wall. But at the same time, being Suge Knight, that's just something you just, you know what I mean. But anyway, yeah.
And it was so-called homies. So he laid it out to me in a way that he's spilling his guts to me, saying it wasn't just him, it wasn't just Puffy. He named names, he named people. And usually when people name names the way he was naming names, I believe him.
So, DVD confesses to Suge Knight, allegedly, according to Suge Knight, he confesses to him at a Lakers game about the unaliving of Tupac, and lets him know that he had a hit on both of them, Suge Knight and Pac. And it was $1 million, and Puffy allegedly gave him the money. Now, I'm going to tell you why this is bad for Puffy. Puffy had already had some stuff over his head. I know people think, he's coming home soon, y'all want to celebrate. But, don't, I ain't trying to put no bad omen on it, but don't be so quick to think that, because you got to remember the guns wasn't even brought up in the trial. And I know you might ask, like, what did that got to do with anything? They just didn't charge him with the guns. Well, that may be because them boys got him. Them boys going to pick it up. Yeah. I mean, and I'm just not talking. Ask Bootsy how that worked. You see, you remember when Bootsy went to court a while back, and then the feds slapped them cuffs on him? He thought he had beat the gun case already? Yeah. This is the same scenario for Puffy. So he already facing that, and then you got this PVD shit over his head. A
war that they lost. I think it was a war that destroyed their neighborhood. So that's being said, I know what I know from being there.
Yeah, it was a big war. It was a big war. On the West Coast. That Tupac and Biggie beef is what struck open or created the East-West Coast beef. Thank God we was in the South. Because that shit was going down. Like, a lot of people, that shit was like a real war zone. A lot of people lost their lives, man. And the South was just out the way. You know what I mean? We ain't had nothing to do with it. So we ain't getting no backlash from it. But a lot of people from the West Coast got knocked off. A lot of people from the East Coast got knocked off. It was just a lot of back and forth going. Before Pac and Biggie died and after Pac Biggie died. It lasted for some years. And yeah, so he right about that. That was a real war zone back there.
I know from conversations that if somebody was a suspect, one of the first things they should have did was told me. I know what Frank told me. I know what I had to go through to basically have the homies find Frank and pretty much kidnap Frank. I wouldn't use the word kidnap, but made Frank drive back to my house in Loserville.
Now, I don't know who Frank is. If somebody in the comments, man, can tell me who Frank is, because I don't know. I don't know who that is. So let me know in the comments who Frank is.
I know when I asked Frank why he didn't carry his gun. I asked Frank why he didn't tell us that he wasn't carrying his gun. I asked Frank, even you carrying your gun for your own protection, you definitely would need your firearm if you're doing security for Pac. And
So yeah, I think I'm guessing Frank was one of the security guards. Now there's another security guard that was allegedly involved that he's talking about. He's not gonna mention his name, so I ain't gonna mention his name. But like I said, I've been following this situation from day one. And I remember that this said security guard, they was investigating him a while back, but the investigation got stopped. It came to a halt. Like, nobody wanted to mess with it no more. I'm talking about there was YouTube videos about this. But you can't find them YouTubes today. Why? But it's a lot of questions that was unanswered, you know what I mean, around Pac's death, you know what I'm saying? And I think this interview, I think this the interview everybody has been waiting
The worst part about it is that when the receipts came back that Snoopy participated, when the receipts came back that Brad James knew this firsthand but never told none of us. I found out something crazy too when I was in the county jail.
Wait a minute, did he say? Oh, let me hear that again.
The worst part about it is that when the receipts came back that Snoopy participated, when the receipts came back that Brad James knew this firsthand but never told none of us. I found out something crazy too when I was in the county jail. I don't know if it was the lawyer, the black lawyer. Talk like his name gonna come to me, but he talks.
Like I said, man, I was a big fan of Pop, man. So, when this went down, man, I know nobody really could say that because we all knew there was about to be a war going on. So everybody had to keep quiet on who knew what. But like the public, the fans, we didn't know. We ain't know nothing. We just out here just singing old Pac song. I'm up before the sunrise, first to hit the block, little bad motherfucker with a pocket full of rock. Gonna throw them things, get the skinny little ass kicked. Niggas loud to the first mother got blasted. I put the nigga in his casket. Now they covering the bastard in plastic. I smoke blunts on the regular, fuck when it counts. I'm trying to make $1 million out of quarter ounce and getting ghost on the 5-0. Fuck the hole, got a 45 screaming out survive. Oh, hey nigga, can I lay low? Put some yayo and holler one time when I say so. Don't want to go to the pen, I'm hitting fences. Narcs on the nickel back, missing me by inches. And they say, how do you survive, man? 165 in the city with the skinny niggas die. Tell mama don't cry, cause even when they kill me, they could never take the game from a young G. Straight balling. Man, I'm telling you, y'all don't know nothing about that. Listen. Not that we really cared who did Pop, but it would just been nice to know. You know what I'm saying? Like we weren't trying to solve the murder, but with this new information right here, make a nigga want to ride. You feel me?
Every person told you stories who never met Tupac and really been Tupac and really didn't know me. Everybody talk about Pac and myself, and most of these people who pound on their chest like they know everything, saying their name is not important because what they talk about is not important because they're not important. But they tell a story and they never met Pac in their whole life. They wasn't there. And
yeah, I met Pop once when I was we had this strip club out here. It was on Stewart Avenue, real famous strip club called Nikki's VIP, right? If you know, you know. The Nikki's VIP was the spot that all the celebrities who came in the city when they want to go to the strip club, they either went to Magic City or Nikki's VIP. Magic City was hot, but it wasn't hotter than Nikki's VIP back then. So, and that's actually there's some footage of Pop getting kicked out of a club and he's hanging out the window of a Mercedes Benz. Yeah, I was there that night. That was Nikki's VIP. So, I didn't know him personally, but I definitely related to his music for sure. Yeah.
Tupac died, but still living. I know the bottom feeders, guppies as you should call them, did not die, but they never started living. Die. It was an attorney that I helped out, paid for his children in college, paid for everything that who he is today, and live the life he did because of me, and then Tupac. And all these years, I never knew he participated.
Yeah, this attorney that he's talking about, I think I know who he's talking about, but if you know, let me know in the comments who this attorney he's talking about.
Tupac fired his attorney, and he fired another person. They took that. That was the perfect bait to get recruited to be against us.
Mm.
This guy used to always tell us, watch how you talk on the phone. The Fed's probably listening. Somebody's listening to get you in trouble. Do not talk on the phone. According to Michael Moore, who was in the car.
Yeah, always, especially today, nigga, the feds is always listening. And they ain't even got to be listening right then and there. They can go back. They can go to sleep. They can take a nap. They ain't got to, the long gone are the days where they just sitting in a van in front of your house and tapping your wire, No, they ain't got to do all that. They can literally tap through your phone, through your carrier. Like, you can do that right now. I know for a fact, like, my ex used to tap my phone because we had a family plan. So my phone was under her account. So she knew everything I was doing. Everywhere I went, she could get all my text messages. So, but I ain't give a fuck because I knew what she was doing. So, you know what I'm saying? She just didn't know I knew. But yeah, the feds can do anything, man. You know what I'm saying?
This particular time, when I was jokingly saying that, he said, "That's not me. How come you probably say that?" He got so excited like he was about to die. He said, "I never had a walkie-talkie. I never had a radio."
Hold on, he talking about the attorney, I
It could
think?
not be me that said that.
Hold on,
He
let me
got
see.
so angry, this lawyer. I said, "Hey," they said, a lawyer type of guy said that. That's something you would say. I never seen this guy get so agitated and angry. And he talks, he always, he a little short, ugly motherfucker with a big ass head. And usually when he talks to you, you gotta turn your head because his breath always smells like shit. Because I guess of the fake teeth and all the surgeries he had in his face. Look like the real Joker. But he talks and he would talk, "Hey, Suge, how you doing?" Like through his teeth. This particular time, when I was jokingly saying that, he said, "That's not me. How come you probably say that?" He got.
So his attorney, allegedly the same attorney that Tupac fired, his attorney was caught during the time of the shooting of Tupac being on the walkie-talkies. That's what Suge is saying right now. That's what he's talking about.
So excited like he was about to die. He said, "I never had a walkie-talkie. I never had a radio." It could not be me that said that. He got so angry and frustrated about it, he made himself look guilty. So one day, he sent my boxes away and another bigger person had them. And it was a blessing in disguise.
All right. Let me see.
Hey, I'm going through the stuff and I see this old school phone or something. I said, "What old school phone?" "It's something." I said, "What, like a walkie-talkie radio?" I said, "You know what? I don't want you stepping into something you have no business stepping into. Because it might be real critical, This sounds like a serious situation." I knew I felt it.
You heard that in the background? That's what lets me know that he's on a prison phone call. Anyway, back to it.
A picture of it and sent it to my tablet. When they sent it to my tablet, I went from angry concern to saying, I know why this motherfucker don't want me out of prison. Because it's going to be trouble.
So they found, Suge people, I guess, found some paperwork from the attorney, and they end up finding a walkie-talkie that the attorney said he didn't have during the time of Suge Knight's, I'm not Suge Knight's, I guess it is Suge Knight's and Tupac's shooting. And the attorney said, I didn't have a cell. I didn't have a walkie-talkie. Well, apparently, Suge found a walkie-talkie. Apparently, you know, people slip up when they commit crimes. They make lots of mistakes. They make mistakes usually in areas where they didn't plan to do anything anyway. So he probably didn't plan to put the walkie-talkie or get rid of the walkie-talkie. That probably wasn't even in the plans. So when you don't plan it all the way out, you tend to leave evidence. I'm going through a situation right now, where somebody did something to me, committed a crime against me, and they thought they hid it well, but they left a whole bunch of evidence that they obviously didn't plan it through. So I know what he mean by when he found that walkie-talkie. I know how he felt.
The communication. He didn't want to talk to me anymore. He went to the state bar to get them on me, and I haven't did nothing wrong. To say he cannot represent me. The communication would never be the same. All because he got caught with his motherfucking hand in a cookie jar.
So Suge is alleging that his attorney is also involved in the unaliving of Tupac and also the shooting of him. So he done put together, so far, he done, through what Keefe D told him, he done put together like a security guard was involved, another security guard was involved, and now the attorney's involved, which makes it all a conspiracy. Not to mention, you say, Keefe D say Puffy gave the money to him to do it. You know? So, and I already know what the Keefe D case was going on with that. They putting pressure on Keefe D so that he could tell on Puffy. But I truly believe that if this is the case and this actually happened, Keefe D ain't finna do no time. He gonna go ahead and tell. They probably pushing him, telling to tell his homies and everything. Like, man, tell on that nigga. Fuck that nigga. That's what they doing.
New York. And he putting this here. Not Corey from the South Side, Corey from New York. Say, hey, Puffy got to get this resolved. Keefe D is threatening to run his mouth. But I don't know why it's a big deal. Keefe D been running his mouth.
Right.
And if don't nobody do anything to get him out, he got a lot to talk about. Oh, it's a big deal. Keefe D been running his mouth. And if don't nobody do anything to get him out, he got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, that's exactly what I just said. He probably talking to his homies right now. Like, man, if this is actually what happened, and you really know about Pac stuff, and you know all the people's involved, and ain't nobody trying to get you out, and I don't know what Keefe, like 60-something years old, that nigga ain't no gangster no more. That nigga ain't in the streets no more. That nigga ain't banging no more. That nigga's a civilian now. Ain't nobody gonna look at him no type of way. If he flips, ain't nobody gonna. I promise you they ain't.
all of a sudden, another guy goes to bail Keefe D out. The excuses was, oh.
Yeah, I remember that was White 100. He went to go bail Keefe D out. I remember that.
I want to do a documentary on it.
Yep, that's why he said he was trying to bail him out, do a documentary. Yep. I remember Wack was in court. Wack went to court in front of the judge and to the bond hearing, I guess, and trying to explain why he wanted to bail Keefe D out.
Oh, we want him out because we want to do maybe even a movie on it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be stupid. The motherfucker already did a book.
Yeah.
Keefe D. If you want to do a doc, anything he had to say, he said it already in the book. So you don't need him. You already have the book. The real reason why they wanted him out is because they didn't want him running his mouth.
Whoa. I say a lot.
Then the lawyers tried to bully me. Now I know I said this before, but hey, they really tried to bully the bully. I ain't going for that shit. They tell me, hey, we know you don't like the county jail, but if you don't give a declaration saying he wasn't there, we bring you down to Las Vegas County Jail and fuck up your program.
Say who wasn't there? Wait a minute. To say that Keefe D wasn't there? Wait a minute. What's going on? Let me hear that again.
The real reason why they wanted him out is because they didn't want him running his mouth. Then the lawyers tried to bully me. Now I know I said this before, but hey, they really tried to bully the bully. I ain't going for that shit. They tell me, hey, we know you don't like the county jail, but if you don't give a declaration saying he wasn't there, we bring you down to Las Vegas County Jail and fuck up your program.
So they threatened and Suge, I guess, to say that Keefe D wasn't there, actually there during the Pac shooting. But like Suge said, he wrote a whole fucking book about it, and then he done did 1,500 interviews on it. So I was always wondering, why is he doing that? But I think because he thought he had immunity or something. I don't know. That's what I heard. I don't know.
Then they doubled down. They doubled down to the point where they offered me $1 million. Then what makes the facts so factual, because you'll take Rat James to bring on your show. Why? How would Rat James know? Well, maybe he did know.
So they offered him $1 million. But Keefe D ain't got $1 million. So who is offering you $1 million, Suge? Hold on.
Then they doubled down. They doubled down to the point where they offered me $1 million. Then what makes the facts so factual, because you'll take Rat James to bring on your show. Why? How would Rat James know? Well, maybe he did know that these lawyers offer $1 million, me $1 million, to say he wasn't there.
He who? Say who wasn't there? Keefe D? To say who wasn't there?
What that had to do with you, and how would you know, and who is who? You only been a street punk. You never had nothing nice in your life.
Okay, so Keefe D. All right.
You only been known as an alcoholic, drunk, smoke crack
Keith D. Or maybe he talking about James.
and primos, and telling anybody. And come from being an abused young man.
Yeah. He talking about James.
Getting sexual.
So somebody offered you $1 million to say James wasn't there. I'm still confused. Somebody help me out in the comments right there.
Abused until you move to the neighborhood in 82. That's a long time of sexual abuse, but I'm not making fun of sexual abuse because there are real victims out there. But it's still not fair to him. So I apologize to him for saying those things because I shouldn't make fun of him because it's true. Give my apology, James.
All right, so yeah, we're gonna move past that. Let's see.
It's not legal, but you fucking with the wrong one if you think for some change, I don't give a fuck how much the money is, that I will betray Tupac. My loyalty can never be compromised. Oh.
Now listen, like I said, everybody is saying all this and that about Young Thug, but I'm like, y'all don't see what's going on over here with Suge. Suge is literally cracking the case open. Real talk. The biggest gangster off the West Coast, I think, that's still alive, that came from an era where gangster was really gangster, is behind the wall doing exclusive interviews about the unaliving of a legend that went unsolved for 30-some years. Suge is lining himself up to go home. Suge trying to get to the house. Suge trying to get home to his family, man. I don't care what you think. Suge ain't no snitch. Well, shit, what he doing now? And I fuck with Suge. Don't get it fucked up. I ain't calling him nothing. But I'm saying, I mean, what we doing here? What's going on, West Coast? What we doing? Y'all keep talking about Thug. This ain't nothing compared to what, I mean, Thug ain't nothing compared to. Anyway, moving on.
That wasn't true about Bill and Keith D off of that. Why would Corey personally?
These are planned conversations, y'all. This ain't him talking to a girl about his homeboys. Nigga, he lining some shit up right now.
Give money to Keith D's son. Why would the lawyers be meeting with Keith D's son? After I told that lawyer, 702 lawyer, and got on the situation, and he knew I was reaching out to him, he got off the case. Why would someone who has nothing to do or didn't know Keith D at the time, never met Tupac, never met myself. They're gonna pay for Keith D's lawyer.
Some fishy going on. Who's paying for Keith D's lawyer? That's what we need to know. Who's paying for Keith D's attorney? Who is? I'm finna find out right now.
They gonna always get involved in all this shit. Why is everybody behind the scenes trying to pay for this? Me personally,
who's paying for Keith D's attorneys?
I put Puffy in my prayers. I might think it's jokingly. This shit. Why is everybody behind the scenes trying to pay for this? Me personally, I put Puffy in my prayers. And you guys might think it's jokingly, but boy, if you allow those motherfuckers to do what they do, you're gonna be in trouble.
Man. So Suge is alleging that Puffy's team is actually Keefy D's attorneys.
Because at the end of the day, hopefully, if I was him, I'd rather tell the judge, you know what, let me go and get this 5 out the way. Let me get this 10-piece out the way. By then, Keefy D trial will be over and you'll be forgotten. But if you walk away scot-free, Keefy D and the rest of those guys gonna turn on you.
Yeah, he kind of right there, man. I agree with him. I agree with him. People gonna turn. I mean, they already turned on Puffy at his trial. You know, 100 people turned on Puffy. You know, people turned on Young Thug. People turned on Suge at his trial. So that's actually normal. So yeah, people gonna turn on Keefy D too. Um, this is deep, man. This is crazy. This is crazy, man. All right, let's fast forward a little bit. Let's fast forward a little bit. I want to get to the meat and butter on this stuff.
I always like the water settled, loud and angry and all these things everybody do. That's a sign of fear. We're going through difficult times all around the United States. You know, I always say a lot of so-called men nowadays is their favorite position to sleep. It's on their stomach.
Yeah, he's just doing a bunch of rambling right here. Let me see.
Everybody's making all these allegations. Everybody doing all these platforms to speak about. Either they speaking about stuff they wasn't there and they act like they was there, which is wrong, or they speaking about stuff to mess up the investigation. That thing's
Okay, so I just looked it up. Keefy D's attorneys are as follows so far. Robert Drakovic. Robert Drakovic. It sounds Russian. And Michael Pendulo. Never heard of him? Let's look them up real quick. Let's see who these are. Who these people are. Who are you? Who are you? All right, Mac. Let's see. He's a Las Vegas attorney. Michael Pendulo. He's a Las Vegas attorney. Um, he's very flashy, of course. Let's see. He's flashy. He's real flashy here. This is the attorney, Mike Pendulo. That's one of the attorneys. That's Keefe D's attorney. And who's the other guy? Call replacing. Okay, so these two attorneys have been retained in August. Like the other day, getting ready for trial. And this other attorney here, Robert Jankowski or whatever, he's also a Las Vegas attorney. So, who's the most famous one? Okay. They say Robert pretty good, though. He'll get you off. Say Robert will get you off, Las Vegas attorney. So, if you're in Las Vegas and you know about Robert Draskosfich, I hope I'm saying that right, then you'll fight for your life. You know that. All right.
Not the way they're supposed to play out. A lot of people have been trying to get a lot of views by going viral. All the people who've been involved have been trying to get these views by going viral, either lying on myself or talking about Pac who they never met, or if they did meet him, because a lot of people do know Pac, but they never had a real conversation with Tupac. However the case may be, watch what you really wish for. Some people say, God, I just want to be famous.
So somebody's putting up the money for Keefe D's attorneys. And it could be anyone like White 100, because, you know, we already know he tried to bail him out. Let me see something. In June 2024, music executive Cash Jones, known as Wack 100, paid the bond premium for Davis's release, claiming it was a gift with no strings attached. However, prosecutors questioned the legality of the funds, leading to judge's denial of Davis' bail request. So Wack 100 lost some money. Wack 100 lost some money. He put the money up for nothing.
But he answered your prayer. Now you can explain why you didn't want nobody to have guns. Now you can explain why you trying to build Keefe D out. Now you can explain why y'all gave Keefe D's son money. You can explain all this stuff. And you can smile and you know, a lot of you guys, I don't get to really see podcasts sitting in prison, but on my tablet, they have news clippings sometimes. And I see the ones who, men who photoshopping their face and putting up on makeup. Now you can be your own star.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, it's a lot of red flagging going on that I know. You know, I ain't gonna lie, man. I don't wish jail on nobody, but I'm glad when I went that I went to the feds, because when you go to the feds, I mean, not when you just going just to do your time. I'm talking about when you go in there, you trying to fight this shit and trying to figure out how to get out this motherfucker without telling. You learn the system. You learn how the feds move. And so as you're learning, you learn what not to do on, you know what I'm saying, when you get back out. That's if you want to get your hands dirty again. You learn what not to do. But then you also you're able to see what other people are doing that you know the feds are red flagging on. And the feds ain't gonna say nothing to you. You ain't even gonna know they even paying attention until they show up. You're not gonna know. So when the feds show up, they already got you. That's why they got a 99.9 conviction rate, because when they come for you, they already have you in a chokehold. They sit back and watch you commit crimes. They'll watch you commit them. And just they'll add it up. And then they'll put so many people, back them up in the corner, and they like to prey on the weak first. They find whoever your weakest link is. They'll find them. The feds will find whoever your weakest link is, and they put the press on them. They put the bully on them. Like, yeah, you looking at 45 years. Tell us what we need to know. You work for us, and that's what they do. They're gonna put the press game on them. So I think that's a whole lot of that going on right now. Like, if you notice, like I say, I ain't wishing bad on nobody, but with Puffy and his situation, the feds ain't been mentioned once. But you think they ain't around? Like I said, ask Bootsy. Ask Bootsy. They was watching Bootsy the whole time. Ask Bootsy why he beat the first gun case, because the feds was picking it up. It's normal. That's how they play it. The feds called the state to say, hey man, drop that charge. We're gonna grab it. Yeah.
But one thing I would say, I am still not promoting for any people to go to prison and die in prison. I don't want to see Puffy die in prison. I don't want to see none of the others who's involved die in prison. But I do want justice for the name Tupac.
That's the same thing, Suge. That's the same damn thing, Suge. In order to get justice for Tupac, niggas gotta go to prison. Niggas gotta die in prison in order to get justice for Tupac. Rest in peace, Shakur. She just passed away recently. Rest in peace to her. Yeah, I'll talk about that later.
I do want Snoopy motherfucking ass to admit his part.
So wait a minute. So you're saying that Snoop Dogg was a part of it too? Well, this shit getting crazy and crazy. I swear to God. I swear to God.
I do want they look at the Dash recording and go what Dash said to put a knife in Snoop's back.
Whoa. You want to?
I do want they look at the Dash recording and go what Dash said to put a knife in Snoop's back. I don't feel that
The Dash recording.
Be mad at Warren G. Warren G didn't know he was telling on Snoop and putting 1,000% involved in the murder of Tupac.
Wow, this is crazy. Man, listen. Suge is giving up all the smoke. Man, you don't think the feds listening to this? But this one thing I will say about Suge. He's a smart gangster. He knows the feds is listening. And trust me, he's not saying anything the feds don't know already. He's probably confirming it, if anything. The feds know all of this stuff. It's probably how he found out. When your life is in danger and you a big time, what's the name like that? Like, you get information. When people put money on your head and they'll come tell you, like, you know your life is in danger. Yeah, we just got word that such and such put, $2 million on your head. Mm-hmm. They'll tell you. They'll pull you up and tell you. And trust me, I'm sure they told him. So you're saying Warren G told on Snoop that he was part of Pac's Unalive?
Dad said to put a knife in Snoop's back. I don't feel that Snoopy should be mad at Warren G. Warren G didn't know he was telling on Snoop and putting him 1,000% involved in the murder of Tupac. He didn't do it on purpose. Might have been stupid by talking to him, right? But he didn't do it on purpose.
So
I've said it best.
wait, when did Warren G? What?
He told us we couldn't go. Nate Dogg said, I'm gonna go regardless. I just don't want to be around those niggas. If I ain't around those niggas, I won't get shot. What I do want, when they sent me to prison, found me guilty in 96, 97, whatever the time was, that two security.
Warren G did not tell on Snoop Dogg in the sense of snitching on him to the authorities. Rather, he warned Snoop Dogg not to sign with Death Row Records without a lawyer reviewing the contract. Warren G should. I don't think they got nothing to do with it. I don't think they got nothing to do with Pac's Unalive.
Helped save the people's life and they helped the casino. A lady named Machuca, security guard, said I hit the guy 10 times, I kicked him 10 times. And people played that on their platform and didn't play the rest. The rest of it was, show us in the video where Mr. Knight doing the things you said he did. She started crying and said, he didn't do nothing. The DA right there told me.
Okay, so I found this. So Warren G did not tell on Snoop Dogg about Tupac. Instead, Warren G recounts that Snoop Dogg was at his house to watch a fight when they learned of Tupac being shot. Warren G believes that by inviting Snoop Dogg to his house instead of going to the fight in Las Vegas with Tupac and Suge Knight, he may have saved Snoop's life. So I'm guessing that I'm guessing this is what Suge is talking about. Maybe he's insinuating that Snoop didn't go because he was involved. He knew what was going to happen. I guess that's what he's insinuating. I don't know. I'm guessing.
Show us in the video where Mr. Knight doing the things you said he did. She started crying and said,
oh, hold on.
He didn't do nothing.
Let's go back a little bit.
They helped save the people's life and they helped the casino. I mean, they sent me to prison, found me guilty in 96, 97, whatever the time was, that two security said I didn't do nothing but help save the people's life and they helped the casino. A lady named Machuca, security guard, said I hit the guy 10 times, I kicked him 10 times.
Yeah, he's talking about the night Pac died at, when they was at a casino and they got into the big fight with Orlando Anderson and whoever else.
And people played that on their platform and didn't play the rest. The rest of it was, show us in the video where Mr. Knight doing the things you said he did. She started crying and said, he didn't do nothing. The DA right there told me to lie on Mr. Knight. We had to take a break. They ain't in court that day. I should have walked. When Orlando Anderson said I didn't do nothing to save his life. When law enforcement got
See, and I get it. I get it what he's saying. Like, that was a setup for Suge at the jump. They was trying to bring Death Row down. Whoever the case may be. I don't know, authorities, I don't know who. But somebody was out to bring Death Row down. I mean, it was a whole East Coast, West Coast war going on at the time. This is right in the middle of the East Coast, West Coast war. So, yeah, they was trying to bring it down. And I know there's a lot of money being float around, I could tell, you know what I mean? And I can relate in a way too, but I ain't gonna speak on it right now. I'm gonna tell my story sooner or later. All right, let me see.
That's not true because I did pay Orlando Anderson, not because he got on the stand for me, because he sued Tupac. Got on platforms and says that I paid Leylo Anderson a lie, which that's not true because I did pay Leylo Anderson, not because he got on the stand for me, because he sued Tupac for busting in his motherfucking mouth. And I didn't want Tupac's mother to have to deal with them taking money from her. So I did the honorable, manly thing to do and stepped up and took care of it.
So they use Orlando Anderson's lawsuit, which Suge paid out to him, as leverage, saying that Suge paid Orlando Anderson to say what he said on stage. And I remember this happening. I watched the trial because he got 9 years or something for that. And I watched Orlando get on that stand. And I remember them saying that they made a fact that Suge paid him. They had proof that he paid him. But Suge is saying he paid out the lawsuit that Orlando, put against the Tupac family for the incident that happened in Las Vegas.
When crooked cops tried to change the truth because they know I should be free. Reason why that case is so important, a detective got on the stand on the oath and lied and said that they didn't know Baby Lane or any of these guys participated in the shooting of Tupac. They didn't want to tell the truth because they would have to let me go. It was guys who was on parole, all of them. Nobody got a violation because they didn't want to charge anybody with anything because we all had to go on trial.
So he's saying that Orlando Anderson was on violation, and there were other people involved that was on parole as well. Not violation, I mean parole. That being involved in the incident, that type of incident, they were supposed to be violated. And he's right. But he's the only one that got violated. If there was other people involved, they were supposed to be violated. And for Orlando Anderson to be a gangster or a banger back in them days, to get on the stand and try to bury Suge, that's like unheard of. When I seen it happen, I'm like, nah. Ain't no way this dude on the stand. So I knew it was something going on in the background. It had to be. It had to be, because ain't no way you can walk back in the hood after getting on the stand against Suge Knight. It was something else going on. It had to be.
We all went on trial. I'd have got acquitted. They got what they wanted out of it. When they couldn't kill me, but they was able to kill Tupac, they framed me.
That makes sense. Why this nigga Suge is boy. That makes sense. So if we do a little short recap, if Keefe D, if this conversation happened with Keefe D at the Staples Center at a Lakers game, that according to Suge, and Keefe D told him all this information, that there was a hit on both of them, but Suge made it out alive, and Pac, we all know, passed away, but they had to find a way to get Suge up out of here too. And in order to do it the way they did it, it would have had to been some powers that, some higher powers to do that. Like, just can't no street niggas do that. You know what I'm saying? The way they got him up out of here, it had to been some higher powers. Crooked police, crooked DAs, crooked judges, so on and so forth. It had to be cricket upon crickets. Why?
They blamed me. They said I'm the one to kill Tupac. 30 years.
I remember that. I remember they tried to blame him for it. I ain't believe that though.
Said anything different. Because I know the truth. I know God know the truth. And I know Pac know the truth. And I also know what Pac said, what we did, and how well he was doing. I also know what Frank told me. He admitted.
Who is Frank? I still ain't figured out who Frank is. Hold on. Frank.
Everything. Everything. God bless his soul. Long live Tupac. It's not a day that don't go by I don't think about him.
Frank Alexander.
Not a day.
Alexander.
I don't enjoy myself in prison.
Hold on. Frank Alexander. That's who he's talking about. Tupac's bodyguard, Frank. I actually thought Frank was, I guess I'm tripping, was the other security. So that's Frank. That's Frank, y'all. Okay, so we know who Frank is. Frank is Tupac's security.
But for you young motherfuckers, don't get it fucked up. My worst day on the streets is still better than my best day in prison.
Let me ask you this. Since you've been in prison, have you been approached to testify against Keefe D?
Up. This is the juice right here. Let's see what he's gonna say.
Let me ask you this. Since you've been in prison, have you been approached to testify against Keefe D?
Lots of times.
You just did. You just testified. Suge, come on, man. We know what you're doing, man. Stop the cap, man.
They talked to my lawyers in Vegas, Richard Scheinfeld, David Chasnos, and they even reached out. But under no circumstances, no matter whatever the situation is, I don't have anything to do with that trial.
Wrong. These are recorded prison conversations. The same thing they used against Young Thug, the same thing they used against YFN Lucci. You don't have to be there now, Suge. But you know that. You Suge know what he doing. Suge know exactly what he doing.
I don't have anything to do, period. When it's all said and done, they have enough people they can talk to. They have enough evidence they do know.
They definitely got enough people to talk to.
Look, they got the check. They got the motive.
They got the check. They got the motive. They got the body.
What the fuck?
Hold on.
I have to do
What?
Look, they got the check. They got the motive. They got the body. What the fuck? Well, I have to do with any of it. No.
One more time, Suge. What'd you say now?
Look, they got the check. They got the motive. They got the body. What the fuck? Well, I have to do with any of it. I'm not the one for none of that.
Yeah, well, sure. I hate to bust your bubble, but you the 1, the 2, and the 3 for this one. You just gave them everything they needed. Which, well, like I said, Suge is smart. The shit that Suge is saying, they already know. He may have dropped a few jewels to connect some other puzzles, but man, they've been working on this case for 30 years. You don't think they know? They know. The feds can't wait to go in and start arresting people. They can't wait. Because it's not a, see what they had, in order for the feds to get involved with a unaliving, it has to be a conspiracy to commit it. It can't just be an action happen. Like, we beat up Orlando Anderson and they came back and shot us up. It can't be that. It has to be something premeditated in order for the feds to come in, because then it's a conspiracy. That's the only way that the feds can. So they have to make it a conspiracy. And then when you got all these high-powered people involved, that makes it harder for them. So they got to make sure they cross all their T's, that dot their I's. You see what happened with the Puffy case? Like, but that wasn't the feds, though. That was the state. No, that's the feds. I'm tripping. Yeah, that's the feds. Because you couldn't have, you can't have the cameras in it. The feds ain't going to let you have the cameras in there. But yeah.
They talked bad about me, said that I never helped the investigation. I never will. At the end of the day,
you just helped. Sure. I hate to tell you that.
Shit, KPD stupid motherfucking ass told it in his book. He told it on podcasts.
Yeah, both of y'all helping.
But it ain't about pointing the finger. It ain't about constantly talking about it. The facts is this. A certain person supposed to hate Keefy D because he claims Keefy D was involved with the murder of Tupac. But this same
Wait. A certain person
is this. A certain person supposed to hate Keefy D because he claims Keefy D was involved with the murder of Tupac. But this same person who claims that he really know Pac, but you don't, but he really know of me because he do, and he really worked for me because he did, but you knew with the word on the streets, you knew because you're connected to law enforcement, your father who was on the
Sure. Say you tell him without saying you tell him. I'm just saying, man.
investigation, they took him off notes. But still, you took Keefy D and say, hey, I'm going to give you a hug if you was involved with killing Tupac, and I know you was, your involvement. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bless you and hook you up with a book deal and get you some money. I'm going to put you on this culture vulture Russian guy on this podcast more than once to get you some money. And there's another guy podcast he went on more than any of them. But I'm not going to say nothing bad about that guy because I think that guy is a good guy who does great things for the culture of our people and the culture of hip hop.
Mm.
So I'm going to leave him anonymous. He went on his show maybe 6 times, or maybe 7. But
Well, who you talking about? Who you talking about? DJ Vlad? You got to be talking about Vlad. You got to be talking. Hold on, hold on.
Involved with killing Tupac, and I know he was. Your involvement. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bless you and hook you up with a book deal and get you some money. I'm gonna put you on this culture vulture Russian guy on this podcast more than once to get you some money.
You talking about Vlad right now?
There's another guy podcast he went on more than any of them. But I'm not going to say nothing bad about that guy because I think that guy is a good guy who does great things for the culture of our people.
Who else did he interview on? I can't remember.
So I'm going to leave him anonymous. He went on his show maybe 6 times, or maybe 7.
Who else did Keefy D interview with other than DJ Vlad? I can't remember that. I don't know. Who y'all tell me? Keefy D interview? Who else he interviewed with other than DJ Vlad?
But none of these things would have happened if it's one for the guy who basically dropped the ball and Pac ended up dead. I ended up with a bullet in my head and shot somewhere else. And at the end, at the very, very end, caused me to lose a lot of money, a lot of time in prison.
Okay, so I wasn't gonna say nothing, but the other security guard name was Reggie Wright, and he just posted a response. We're gonna get into that in a minute. What is he responding to? Because the man didn't even say his name. Not yet, anyway.
Prison. That's not the part that really gets me angry. What gets me angry the most is that I used to blame myself of the passing of my mother. My mother was the type of mother.
Man, hold on, man. We got to get into this. Listen, I don't know about y'all, but this bigger and better than the than what's going on in Atlanta with Thug and Thug and what's the name?
Hey Reggie, I am sorry to interrupt your evening, but I just had to call you because I saw this segment that is on the Art of Dialogue channel with Suge. It's about an hour long, and he makes some crazy allegations. I want to see if you saw it.
Look, is that a freeze frame? Is that a freeze frame, Reggie? Is that a freeze frame? Hold on, let me tell you this. This is on Bomb First. This was released 3 hours ago. This is live now. This is a back and forth that ain't nobody paying attention to. They've been going back and forth for at least a year now. Suge, Reggie Wright. Suge, Reggie Wright. Suge do an interview. Reggie Wright responds. Man, this is the biggest beef. Man, y'all got content.
And if you had any response or any thoughts in regards to some of the stuff that he's saying, essentially about, you and others.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a picture.
I know you're talking about me. When he kept saying head of security. Oh man, I said I wasn't gonna talk about Suge no more. I really don't want to talk about him, so I'm gonna try to be as nice as I can. But he done make me gonna take off the gloves because he keep trying to insinuate that I had something to do with the murder of Tupac.
Boy, this getting real, man. This is going. Okay, so for those that don't know, Reggie Wright was the head security of Death Row Records during the Tupac era and the night of the Tupac unalive.
And I know he's just doing this for fun because he said David Kenner, he said Snoop, he said me, he said Mob James.
He didn't say David Kenner. He didn't say David Kenner. Who's David Kenner? Who's David Kenner? Who's David Kenner? Let's find out who David Kenner is. David Kenner is the attorney. David Kenner is the attorney that Suge would not mention. Damn. He did say he had fake teeth. Look at them teeths. He did say that now. David Kenner. So I'm assuming this was Pac's old lawyer, licensed in California. Yeah, makes sense. He didn't say his name though, Reggie. You just gave up his name, bro.
He just, everybody that he's mad at, I told y'all, he weaponized and blamed for the murder of Tupac Shakur. And matter of fact, while we're on that subject, rest in peace and shout out to the family and prayers for the Shakur family.
Rest in peace, Asada Shakur.
R.I.P. to Asada Shakur, who passed away this weekend over in Cuba. But anyway, we'll get back to the subject.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna play the whole video. This was about what Suge was talking about. I'm gonna have to really. This just popped up on my timeline, so I didn't even know it existed. Art of Dialogue did the interview with Keefe D. Okay. Yeah, the Art of Dialogue actually did the video. So the Art of Dialogue did the Keefe D, original Keefe D interview, and he's doing the Suge Knight interview currently. I don't know, man. Y'all better get on top of this, man. Let me know what y'all think, man. This is the Leylo Show. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, hit that notification button, because this right here is the content. Peace, love, and light. I'm gone.